to the Gentleman of Style Show. I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Creech. And today, man, I'm excited. I don't know about you. We got a great guest. I've got some information that I'd never heard of before and got some great stories to go along with it.
So, without further ado, we're going to introduce our esteemed guest, Alvin Pitts. Come on in, Alvin.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Gentleman of Style Show.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Nice setup you got here.
Oh,
thank you so
much. Thank you so much. So Al, let's start from here. Where are you from? Are you a native to the area, or are you a transplant?
I'm a transplant. I've been here since the late 80s.
Late 80s.
Moved here from Shreveport, Louisiana is where I'm from.
So you saw the area go through a lot of transitions over the years.
Way before the internet, before iPhones, you know, that kind of thing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what was like from being in Louisiana? Was there any culture shock from there to coming to Atlanta?
Black people.
More or less?
More here.
Okay.
In Atlanta, because when I went, where I'm from Shreveport, it's integrated. You know, people are, it's got a good mix of white and black, and of course in college it was 10%.
Right.
Black was of the school population. So coming to Atlanta was like, wow.
So why the move? Why did you decide to come here?
CNN. The first reason I came here was for CNN. My background is media.
Okay.
I was a news reporter, general assignments with NBC up in Shreveport. Had done that for a couple of years, and I wanted to move here and had an opportunity to look into that VJ video journalist program.
Okay.
And once I came here for that, actually some other opportunities popped up. Because I was into fitness, probably can't see how my muscles are now.
Oh, see?
Oh, he kind of cut, man. Told in, he kind of cut.
You gotta look over here.
Kind of puts 20 pounds of muscle on you. Yeah, you're gonna be ripped.
But yeah, so ended up working with Bally's Fitness, because they gave a better financial package. And when you first move into a town, dollars can matter.
Yes.
All day long.
Yes.
So that's when I made the move here, and hey man, had to stretch, had to grow, and got into fitness, stayed in fitness for a while, and made some contacts. So
Right. So right now at this current point in time, you know, I've seen some of your work as far as mobile expressions is concerned and everything. How did mobile expressions come into play? How did that happen? How did it begin?
really strictly accidental. First year wedding anniversary. I decided to be romantic and decorate the tub with balloons and bubble bath. Even use a dot matrix printer to tell you how long ago that was, okay?
Dot
Dot matrix to print happy anniversary on the on the mantle.
Okay.
So, being that we were married on Valentine's Day,
Oh, that's a big thing.
people at work talking, she's a nurse, she's working at one of the hospitals locally, so and everybody's kind of discussing what happened, Valentine's Day. So, make a long story short, one of the doctors heard her mention balloons, Dr. Rob Williams, and said, your husband do balloons? Well, have him give me a call. I want him to, do some balloons for me. So she calls me up and tells me about this idea about doing balloons.
So she was bragging about the setup that you did for her for Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
And he overheard it.
Yeah.
And he called you. Okay.
Now the kicker is, and I mentioned earlier, was that we had just left an Anthony Robbins seminar. Now, for you all who don't know Anthony Robbins, motivational speaker, personal development coach. Right. We had just left one of his seminars, and he made a statement. He said, "Don't say no to something that you don't know what you're saying no to yet. Explore it, research it, find out what you're saying no to." So I didn't say no. And so my question was, well, how much money are we going to make out of this?
Right.
So we kind of called around and got some information on pricing and so we came up with a number, I think, like $250 to do the balloons.
Okay.
We were also invited to the party because she was friends with them. And when that happened, we're there. First of all, we didn't know what the crap we was doing. Balloons looked like pears. Right. They were overinflated. He was a Kappa, so it was colorful, red and white. Right. And people eating like, Dr. Rob, who did your balloons? No, they were saying, is it crazy? or who did your balloons for? Good to that one. But make a long story short, not less than 12 people asked us for business cards. We looked at each other like, you believe this? This is crazy. So we trying to figure out from that point, maybe to go into the business. Like what to call them driving home like. She said, "Love on Wheels." I said, "Nah."
Oh, you thinking about?
Yeah, we thinking
names,
about.
yeah.
What about super balloons? And nah.
Right.
I said, we're gonna have to do something mobile.
Right.
Because we're not gonna be able to actually afford an actual shop.
Spot.
Okay, so like mobile
right.
expressions or something. I said that'd be great, but I'm sure somebody has that name. Sure enough, went to looked it up. Nobody had it. That closest thing that was mobile all.
Right.
And we got it, not trademark, but more or less incorporated the name and everything and moved forward.
Move forward.
So what was that first, I guess that first outing like, getting the business. Now you got the business. Like
Well, now let me there's a caveat. Going back to what I was saying. Now, once we got the name Mobile Expression, now we had to come with this idea. And I was in security sales. When I say security sales, well, Beyonce Automotive Group, which is now Mercedes-Benz Buckhead.
Right.
Same
Wrangler,
owner.
they're big.
Yeah, same owner of that.
Big.
I was closing out an ad in what was called the Black Pages back then.
Right.
And you remember Ken Reed and his wife, they had the Black Pages. And that Black Pages was as big as internet for black people in
right
Atlanta.
now.
Okay, so I had an ad, a half-page ad in the security business that I was in under ARC, which ARC did the airport, we did Holyfield, we did a lot of major clients in Atlanta, but we had an electronics division, which we did home security and cameras and that kind of thing.
Right.
So I was closing out an ad, had half a page there. Okay, so after that, and I told John Howard about Velcro Photo is no longer around, but I told him about the business idea. He said, "Oh man, you could put an ad in the book." I said, "No, the business not up yet."
Right.
He said, "No, I know." He said, "But I can, I can put together an ad." I said, "John, the business that we don't have, I know, but I can put a van here."
He didn't care.
Beast of Massacre, he wanted to sell. He wanted to sell that ad.
Oh, okay.
Man, when he got through, when he got through pumping this and showing me the ad, he had marked it up. Man, we had a van, Beast of Massacre, American Express, the address, location. I said, "Man, look, you're gonna have me lying out here." So he said, "Man, but you can get all that stuff." Man, he pumped me up. I have to really credit John for pushing it so quickly.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it kind of reminds me of a story Will Smith was telling about when he became the Fresh Prince. He met with Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, right.
And Quincy Jones, when they make long to kind of shoot to the chase, he said, "Okay, I want you to do a audition for the show right here at the house." Had a Rich Torticroft, these people, these big major people at the house.
Right.
And Will said, "I'm not ready to do this right now."
Right.
He said, "I'll come back in 2 weeks, or a week." And Quincy said, "Okay, that'll be fine." So Rich Torticroft won't be here. So you're going to have to schedule him. He said, "I tell you what, you can either take 10 minutes to change your life or whatever." So it kind of reminds me of that, that John was pushing for this ad.
Right.
The company wasn't together, but he put it together on paper. It looked good, and everything was in place, little balloons and stuff. Trust me, we didn't have none of this.
Right.
So, and sure enough, we got it, and I went to Barranco and talked about, I want a van, and he took his glass off. He said, "Alvin, the van costs $25,000.
Right.
You're going to have to sell a whole lot of balloons to pay for this van.
Right.
I'm going to help you get the van, but I want my money back."
Right.
So Greg was very adamant about that, so did that deal, got it going, and we did a few jobs. And, we used to be late for jobs. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. What was that first?
That first thing, I remember one time, which is a true story, we were decorating for Ford. Now, one thing about it, was able to get into some big names real quick, like Ford Motor Company, some retirement parties. And I remember one party we did. We were decorating for somebody's retirement party. We were late. People they would put the food on the table. We put the decoration centerpiece, and we're going, "Excuse me." "Excuse me." "I'm sorry, excuse me." So we placed the centerpiece. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. So
Right.
learn that you gotta be on time. This is ahead of time. So that was one of the roughest.
Yeah, because the stories of when you start the business.
You never think you're gonna get through that, but we managed. We got through that.
Well, tell us about, and I know you penetrated the industry to a degree on that, and I found it very interesting. The people that you met, the things that you've seen, the work that you've done in that interest. Tell us about the first the one that you consider the biggest one? I know they're big in their own right.
I would have to say the biggest one. We get this call with the office,
Okay.
and we get a call about 7 o'clock at night on a Thursday night, and they want to do a balloon drop at the Georgia Dome. I said, how many balloons? He said, like 7,000. I said, really? So, okay, can you do it? Oh, yeah. And I'm always yes.
Right.
I didn't want to freak them out. Oh, yeah, we can do it.
Right.
So, hung the phone. Oh, my God, 7,000 balloons. Well, make a long story short, that job ended up being for Puff Daddy, Buzz Superfest. So that
No Diddy got to have his party right. So you got to be right.
And we did. At first, it was 6,000 initially.
Right.
And while we were back there putting the balloons together, Diddy walks back with his crew. How many balloons are doing? 6,000. He comes back, make it 7,000. So that's what other 1,000 went up.
Right.
So we did that, and then the same month. This is the crazy part. The same month we had this. We had Puff Daddy on our notch and our belt. So
Right.
we're looking pretty good.
Right.
So I had called up because Evander Holyfield was going to be fighting Von Bean at the Georgia Dome. And this is in 1998. And that balloon, actually there was nothing on the table about a balloon drop. I called, and actually it was a cold call. I called Charles Watson, who was Evander Holyfield's manager, if any of y'all remember, back in those days. And so called Charles Watson. I said, do you know anybody who's associated with this fight? He said, well, not really. He said, that's Don King Productions out of Florida.
Right.
I said, you have anybody in the name you can give me? So he said, there's a guy named Greg Pitts. Give him a call. He's in production or something. So I call up Greg Pitts. Now, I understand my background in sales.
Right.
So I knew all the puppet dog clothes, all the different ways to approach this. So I called him up. I did was calling the assumptive close, if you know anything about that. I said, hello, Greg Pitts, this is Alvin Pitts, Mobile Expression Balloons in Atlanta. I'm calling in reference to the balloon drop for the Holyfield fight on the 28th or whatever date it was. He said, balloon drop?
He's like, what?
We're not doing a balloon drop. I said, wait a minute. I said, Holyfield is fighting in his hometown. You guys not doing a balloon drop?
Yeah, what's wrong?
I said, wow. Now tell you where I got the idea from. If you remember when Rocky fought the Russian,
Yes.
that's where I got the idea. And it wasn't nowhere near that many balloons.
Right.
But that's where I got the idea from. So he said, well, how much would something like that cost? That's all I need to hear.
That's it. Right.
I said, well, let me show you. So this is, again, before the internet, before Facebook, etc. So we got off the phone. I thanked him for his time. Wrote him a handwritten postcard, thanked him for his time, of course. And I gave him, I faxed over to him the options of I told him 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. We had not done either. We only done it 7,000 for Puffy. So, and I even sold them on, we can print on the balloons, different things. And so this is coming up to Labor Day. What's September? Labor Day?
Labor Day.
So he said, I'll get back with you. So sure enough, come a week later, so he calls him back. He said, Alvin, this is Greg Pitts out of Florida, Don King Productions. And I just called to let you know. And I thought he was about to tell me, we're not going to do it. He said, I just called to let you know that we decided to go with the 10,000. I said, that's fine. And so we came up with the price number. It was a nice little number. And I was, I wanted to be like, I was already there with them big boys, right? But I'm poor. I ain't got I'm broke. Got no money, man. Hurting. So I said, yeah, it's okay, that's fine. I said, okay. So, and we kind of basically shook hands over the phone. And I hung up without even asking for $1. I said, okay, fine, okay, we'll be there. So I hung up and I went like, wow, we ain't get no money. But I could call back and look like a chump.
Right.
I said, so how do I call this guy back and mention money? So I called him back because at that time we had an office on Covington Highway, and we had a mailbox down by Justin's, by Puffy's. It's a nice little area for Atlanta. So I said, oh, by the way, I just want to let you know that we have two different spots, say the receiving center in Buckhead and our production office in Decatur.
Right.
So I said, I didn't want you to send the payments to different He said, where should I check out to you? I said, fine. I just wanted to let you know what it was.
Right.
But I said, I really need this money, man. Please give us the money.
I know that's right. Yes, indeed. Yes,
But we got that to go on, and that kind of started a lot of stuff.
Like snowball type of effect.
Right, and actually, I have to show it to you. I actually have the 11 Live did a story on us, a clip from that. So we actually did a story on us.
That'd be awesome.
But, yeah, so, you know. It started from that, and from that point on.
And who else?
Oh wait, before that, who came up with the Balloon Man? Who came up with the name?
I like
Balloon?
good question.
Oh yeah, that is. Go ahead.
Now see, the Balloon Man. First of all, I'm a kid at heart.
Okay.
You probably saw me over there playing the drums.
You're doing multi-talented.
Right, our guest is multi-talented. We've got a drum set, out in the foyer, and he went in there, rearranged, and went to work.
So work on it.
Yeah.
The Balloon Man came because number one, I'm like a big action hero, superhero fan. I love that kind of stuff.
You actually have that out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, go on.
Dude, next time. Okay.
Look, you better be glad we didn't know that, because we were like, yo.
Holy heat.
I mean, I saw it. I was like, okay.
It's not Photoshop or CGI. It's real. But anyway, so I came up with this concept, and I did it in the stickman formation. I can't draw. So one day I met someone that knew some kids over at Riverdale High School. It's Uchechi, they're from Africa. Leclacy and Uchechi, they're brothers. They were twins. Okay. They could draw. One could actually draw, and one could do the actual inking and all that. Yeah. When I came to them with the story, I gave them $100. They did the whole storyboard, man. I mean, nice, laid out. So I came with the idea, but they put it to life, man. And the whole premise of Balloon Man, he comes to save the day by fighting the elements of sad, mad, and anger. He fights those elements with happiness with balloons. So his weapons are balloons. Right. So when he goes to the door in this storyboard, what happens is he flies, he fights mad, sad, and anger. He wraps them up in balloons, and he understands he's in his suit, everything like you see here. Right. And when he knocks on the door, and the person answers the door to receive the item, he can understand he had to go through holy hell to get to the person. Right. So she answers the door, and all he sees is delivery person. She never sees superhero. Right. So that's the whole premise of it.
Gotcha. That's nice. Yeah. That's nice.
Well, yeah, I do have the suit.
Oh, okay.
If you knew the suit at this point, things are constantly evolving. Right. The suit at this point is probably like $4,500. Oh, okay. I've had to get some muscles. I have to show you the suit, but the muscles and the boots and the whole setup for me, because it's a whole lot. Because even the prosthetic underneath, the muscles are really expensive. Right. Yeah. We shop from the same place that the movie industry.
Yeah, because I saw on the Cohen show one time. He went to one of those places where they actually create those suits. Yeah. And it's a process. You take a foam.
Yes.
The whole thing.
That suit I have is right at about $3,500. Yeah. Not counting the actual out of body suit. Right. So when I put it on and walk out, it looks real. Right. It's as real as anything you see on the Avengers. Right. So, and I always wanted to make sure if I was going to do it right.
Oh yeah. Right. Always.
So tell us. Now we know about the superhero. Tell about the superhero adventures and all the people that you met in your travels.
The people I've met, just to name a few, Greg Leaks, just kind of start on the low end. Not saying you're low, Greg.
No, Greg. Greg follows us, so big up for Greg Leaks.
So Greg used to work in my building. Yes. So when he heard I was doing balloons, he wanted to help me decorate because we was going to the gentleman's club. Right. Let's go see what this about. I'll hold the balloons for you, sir. Right. No problem. So that's how he met Nene. Right. Move forward. That's how I ended up in the wedding. I was Nene's wedding. Right. One of the groomsmen. I've done balloons for T.I. Right. R. Kelly. Right. Catherine Jackson, Michael's mom. Right. She flies up to Gary. We decorate the entire Genesis Center. I've done balloons for Judge Hatchett.
I love Judge Hatchett.
Judge Hatchett. Who else we've done balloons for? Frankie Beverly and Mays. We did balloon drop at the Civic Center.
I saw something where Bill Clinton, was it?
Bill Clinton came when he did the fundraiser for Hillary. Right. We did the balloons for Bill Clinton. Bill Cosby, you know, in the great days before any problems. So, you know,
so TD Jakes somewhere.
TD Jakes, we did the Mega Fest. I mean, you did your homework, man. Hey, these folks do their homework. Bring your DNA, they got it. So, we've done a lot of people.
So with that, how did you transition or move into doing the movies in terms of, you know, taking your talents to the movie industry?
Actually, the movie industry called us up. There was a young lady named Daphne who works in the industry who first found us to do set for Vampire Diaries. And once we started doing balloons for Vampire Diaries, actually the television stuff started with TBN, Trinity Broadcasting. And that's when we first started doing balloons in the industry of television, etc. And I've told you a story earlier, I'm reiterating, I can't tell a story again. When I was doing balloons for TBN, it was at the International Cable Convention. We were doing balloons for them and another group that was there. And these little girls come up. They come up, they want us to say, hey, would you like to have our autograph from one of our cards? I say, no, not really. I don't want your
Who are these kids?
And then so they grab the girl grabbing me. This woman don't know me.
Right.
She grabbing me, talking about, come on, just one picture. And I'm just like, really, like, okay, this girl woman grabbing me. Okay, y'all go. So the other woman said, I want to sign. So I said, sign to my company, Mobile Express.
Right.
So make a long story short, and let's get to the chase. I see him later on Soul Train, Don Cornelius. It's Destiny's Child. So Beyonce grabbed his arm right here.
It was Beyonce.
See that arm right there?
That's the arm that Beyonce grabbed.
Right.
So you know, some of everybody along that line. I tell you what's interesting about it is that you realize some of the nicer people are really not the celebrities.
Right.
Just regular everyday people like yourselves. Just regular the person next door.
Right.
Mary J. Blige, Patti LaBelle. I've been on. But you get to be around people. Balloons has gotten me into every door. I'm gonna tell you a story that's really interesting. I don't know if you know who Jim Rohns is, a motivational speaker.
I know.
And Les Brown. Les Brown. That was a show they had one time at the International Convention Center. It was Les Brown and his friends, had Jim Rohns, some other people. Tickets were like $200, $250 or something like that. Ooh. Man, I just want a picture with Jim Rohns. I had already seen him before. So how can I get in to get a picture with Jim Rohns? So what I did was, I put together a balloon bouquet that had money inside. I used to play money, but it was inside a balloon bouquet. Right. A wrap, it's called balloon wrap actually. Right. And I went to the International Convention Center, which is nice. I'm totally looking like a delivery man, the man the whole night. And I'm acting like I don't know who Jim Rohns is. Right. I said, I'll deliver for Mr. Jim Rohns. The guy said, I can take it. I said, he needs to sign for it. And the security guy goes, okay, follow me. So I followed him. He goes back to the stage. Of course, the end of the concert was over. And so I stood there with him like, I don't know who he is. He said, well, that's him right there. So he left me there. I said, okay, fine. I would have got a picture. And I guarantee you, how many people never got a picture with Jim Rohns? Right. They paid to get there. Right. I walked in the front door with the security guards going to the back to where they were. And I get a picture with Jim Rohns, him and I together. Right. Because I gave him the balloon. He said, you know, these are nice balloons. It's really great work. But I can't take it on the plane. He said, maybe give it to someone, but I'll take a picture with you with it. Right. It was really cool, you know. So when people see the picture, like, man, how you get a picture with Jim Rohns?
You know, that's funny that you tell that story like that, because you see these type of things in movies and everything where they're trying to get into a place and they
oh man,
so I wouldn't think that actually worked.
It worked.
It actually worked,
dude, and it worked more before 911. I'm gonna tell you something else. Even after 911, when the bombing happened and everything was grounded, nobody would ever believe this. Okay, Delta Airlines, and because all this was going on, they wanted to keep morale up with the people on the grounds. They had us deliver balloons to the the planes back up to every area, many areas, and we did like a lot of them for Delta Airlines. My plane was not my plane, but my van, my big truck, actually got a chance to drive onto the runway in the back because they escorted us around. I said nobody would ever believe that this truck is on the runway. Right. Now remember, all the planes were grounded. Nothing, but nobody would ever believe my truck was actually driving on the runway. Right. It's crazy.
That's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Your life is fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It's
Very
absolutely fascinating, and I think that you know, when you guys met, he called me not long after you guys met, and he was telling me, you know, some of your conversation. I was like, yeah, we got to get this guy on the show.
No, I was just amazed, you know, the profession and the doors that it has opened for you, and the people that you meet and that you've met,
Right.
and how these people actually are. And I mean, you were very genuine about it, and that
Right.
was the thing that really clicked in with me. Just very genuine about it. So
Yeah.
you know, it just resonated.
You know, the thing, like I said before, I was having a media background.
Right.
I used to stutter when I was a kid, so I was always just trying to change my voice.
Right.
So I got into media that way. And
He
because
does voiceovers as well.
yeah, I do impressions. I do about 300 voices.
Wow.
Yeah, I do everybody from Bernie Mac to Ronald Reagan to Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, some everybody.
Right.
So you know,
Give him a little bit. You sitting there, you ain't doing that.
you know, Ronald Reagan would probably say about 45 right now. He would probably say, well, we had no idea that the guy was actually taking things far, and because of that, please accept our apologies. We have no intent on keeping him in there. You know, Bernie Mac, we like, let me tell you something. I came here. I ain't know how long they gonna have me up in here. Let me tell you something. I had to drive in the woods to get here. Y'all hear me? I thought I was coming to deliverance. But I'm over here now. If I come missing, my number is 444.
Oh man.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That is nice.
Yeah.
when I say multi-talented, man, this is. I know we were talking about the reason why we created this format and this show. It's to have people on like you because,
Right.
for one, it's inspiring to see somebody take advantage of an opportunity.
Sure.
Right.
You could have easily said, "No, I don't do balloons," and kept on, you know,
Right.
with your, you know, your regular. But having gone to that seminar, you know, that was something. And for some people, you know, they don't get. Sometimes going to those seminars are very, very positive and big things, and you know, you can get a lot of. And then we're trying to create this platform the same way, so you can get a lot out of what we talk about and the people that you meet on this show. So when he was telling me about you, I just instantly was like, you know, that's a great story. Not so much of just the people that you met, but you know, the whole journey you took, you know, to get there. So that's what you know, really resonated with me. So I love your whole overall story, and then you're multi-talented. So it's people out there. Listen, you can do so many things.
That's true.
Don't get held into a box. And you know, you're one of the people that I can look at and say, yeah, exactly. So don't let people hold you in a box.
And a matter of fact, you just got finished working on a big project.
Yeah, we have the Goosebumps 2. If you're familiar with Goosebumps, that's coming out in October. We have some work in there, so you get a chance to check it out, and you'll see something going on there. I can't get into detail about it, but check out Goosebumps. It's in October.
So if you see it, you know whose work that is.
That's right.
You saw it here first.
Yes, on the GOS show. And the great thing about this thing is we had a great time hanging out with Alvin Pitts, and we want you guys to take something from it, and everything that we do is about you guys. So he said it all, I said it all, it's a done deal. See you next episode.
And as we always say, there's no excuse for good taste, because at Baldwin & Creech, we believe in better. All right, take it easy. We'll be back next week.